And we are live in the Fragonationals. I am Jack Clock.
And I'm young Peen.
And today we are having another match on Sweetwater of RC Squad versus a newcomer, Team ANDALEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEE.
Now, we don't know too much about Team Andale, except they are going to go into this match absolutely fearless. They don't care that RC Squad might be on a little bit of a tear after their newfound momentum. 6-0ing the Riders of the Storm last time they came in contact. But Team Andale does not seem shaken by that. They're gonna just head right into this map and hope they can take it.
From what I've heard on Discord, these guys have no fear. And I actually know a little bit about these guys. I know about Fanny Boolin. I've played a lot with him before. He's pretty good. There's nothing to shake your finger at. He's pretty good, and I have a lot of confidence in him. He's the team leader, I believe, too.
Kieki, definitely a decently well-known name in the Fistful of Frags community.
Yeah, if you lurk on Discord at least, then you'll probably know who he is. Pretty well-known and not too bad either. And Gunter,
not as well-known as the others, but definitely a Mares-like powerhouse.
Yeah, he can definitely hold his own. He's been playing for a while.
But I mean, this is RC Squad. Like, this team is predicted to go all the way to the playoffs. But if Team Andale can knock them down here and then take all the lower seed matches, they have a surefire way of getting into the playoffs themselves. Definitely. So let's see if they can start off strong.
Yep, and this is their leader, Real Cliff Jumper. He is a crack shot with the Remington and a very good strategist. We also got Sanix and Claxy, who are also really good players as well. And now we're live. Let us see how things are going to turn out. It looks like
now we remember last time that we saw RC Squad, Claxy was really favoring those barrels.
Oh yeah,
this is Sweetwater. There's a good deal of unknown but very powerful barrel spots here. Let's see if Claxy can make use of them.
Looks like all the RC Squad members have regrouped, while many of the Team Andale members have done the same as well.
Team Andale is all together as well.
It looks like
Fanny
both of them are going to play the long game.
Rocking a sawn off here. Gunter rocking his famed mare's leg. Sanix on the Colt Navy.
A rare sight these days. Fanny Boolin with the shotgun. That's not a sight you see all the time.
Exactly. I was saying Fanny Boolin rocking that sawed off, but he can do it comfortably, knowing that Kieki has definitely got the long range down. Kieki playing as a medic. We have a portable whiskey out, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not something you see all the time, but in team elimination, that stuff's really useful. Looks like both teams aren't willing to push. They don't want to.
Now, here's the problem with being a medic is that you do not get the heals yourself unless your teammates get healed. And so it's up to the other team to identify the whiskey and then to take that out first.
Oh,
and here we have a box. Team Andale playing very
Claxy with the coach gun right now. Look at him. He's rocking that weapon. Can't wait to see if he does
trying to do the cheeky bunny hop to get on the roof of the house. And a Spencer carbine by Sanix for the long range.
It looks like all the Team RC members are starting to gear themselves up. It looks like Real Cliff Jumper's about to get something as well.
Probably going to be on the
and he's got a Peacemaker. We got a Peacemaker, a Coach Gun, and a Spencer, all on
and another Peacemaker. Fanny taking that out.
Oh, nice.
And carrying the the box for his team, potentially to block some long-range shots.
Either that, or he's got heavy loads enabled.
Now, Sanix is trying to get a crossfire right now on RC Squad. The Coach Gun and the Spencer are both trying to set up different angles here. Sanix looking down. Oh, he's spots a player. He misses that first shot.
Right now, the fighting is in RC Squad's favor as Fanny Boolin is taken out by Claxy.
Cliff Jumper coming behind with that Peacemaker.
Sanix managing to pick off Gunter. Now it's just Kieki left, but he does have a Spencer, so not all is lost.
Cliff Jumper trying to hit those penetration shots.
Looking too hot for Kieki right now.
Oh, and they get the double pick back.
Oh, and a surprise turn of events. Fanny Boolin manages to finish off Claxy. Oh, that was a clutch right there.
Team Andale is
barely
nothing like what we've seen before. They are very unorthodox.
Oh yeah, definitely. They are just flying by the seat of their pants, really. Alright, looks like Gunter's
Even
got
once
a
all of
shot.
their gimmicks fell through, they proved they also got the aim to back it up.
Oh, yeah,
and hopefully
definitely.
that more desperate, gimmicky style
Actually, now having the shotgun
of
as
play
well.
has a place in this Fistful of Flags game.
Fanny
Ooh, but
Bullen
Claxy
blocking
finds it
Claxy's
first.
second shot, allowing his teammate to escape, but he falls in the process.
Cliff jumper retreating through tunnels of terror.
Kieki manages to
Ooh,
kill
but
Claxy.
runs into an enemy, runs into the sawed-off, who lets him heal.
Fanny Bullen is reloading. He's going shotgun versus shotgun. Claxy manages to win. However, Samix has control of the red chest right now. However, I feel like that's about to end.
Both teams have red chests.
Gunter manages to take out Samix. And now it's Team Andale that has control of the red chest. And all three players
And
are
Team
there.
Andale that has control of the flow of the map. Notice
However,
only one player, Fanny Bullen, has gone down.
it looks like Samix is trying to have a push in there, but he's getting severely wounded.
If Real Clip Jumper goes out, this could be really bad for our C squad.
Samix managed to be taken out by Kieki with the new Peacemaker.
Claxy coming in with a sawed-off and knives. This might be... Now, here's the thing. As Claxy, you've got to feel like now you are getting a taste of your own medicine. Because normally it's Claxy who's got the barrel spots and the great retreats that just changed the flow of the game.
Definitely.
But now he's getting out-gimmicked.
Real Cliff Jumper
And
is not in a good spot right now.
Fanny Bullen hit a nice barrel throw right into a kick.
Real Cliff Jumper's in a really bad spot right now. However, Sanix does manage to take out Gunter. However, it just leaves him...
Claxy with two sawed-offs.
Oh, damn. He must have taken one off of Fanny. However, that's not going to matter as Gunter manages to take him out.
Pushing through, hopefully able to find Cliff Jumper.
Kieki is on the lookout right now.
And Cliff Jumper is all alone.
He's right near Real Cliff Jumper. However,
Cool.
Real Cliff Jumper is by himself.
Sanix is going to take the spot, but get dome pieced in
managing
one.
to just headshot the hell out of him. Real Clump Jumper had barely any health now. Is this the end for him? Gunter manages to take him out, but not after Real Cliff Jumper manages to take Fanny Bullen down with him.
And Keki, so patient and trusting of his team to just lay back and let them do the work.
Yep.
And Gunter and Fanny for getting that pick in the end, even though they were against that
cautious play style. It's been paying off for him. However, nothing is over yet for our C squad, so they can manage to make a turnaround. Kieki also with the good aim to Remington.
There's gotta be a new... Ooh, you do not want to give that
Gunter flanking.
barrel to Claxy, but Claxy goes down on Fanny getting the different barrel. I think that there needs to be a different...
Team Andale has control of the tunnels of terror right now.
I think there needs to be a different word almost for the way that RC squad is getting basically their ass handed to them in these early rounds.
Gunter having a nice trade there.
Because Team Andale is... They're not exactly aggressive, but they're playing very tenacious. Gunter finding that headshot on Cliff Jumper.
3-0. If they keep going at this rate, then they're gonna win.
I think that's the word that I'm looking for. Is it's very tenacious. The way they play is just... It's not aggressive. It's not defensive. It's just in neutral, but it's just so forceful. Ooh, and 2 picks.
Like, we are going to win, but at the same time, we are not going to let ourselves get messed up.
And Fanny Bullen setting up that barrel a few damage points away from exploding and putting it in the center.
Oh, Fanny managing to take him out with the barrel! Oh, that's insane!
Now that is some setup that you normally don't see from Claxy. Normally Claxy, he hits it once, but usually has to shoot it 1 or 2 more times, rather than punching it and setting it up just a few points below damage.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh! One of the players is rocking the coach gun. I believe it's Kieki. Oh, Finny.
Ooh, and Gunter gets the
Fanny
pick,
Bullen
but if
tries to
he
shoot the
didn't,
barrel. It's too
Kieki
late,
would...
though. Kieki is barely clinging on to life here, but he doesn't need to worry too much. Although he does have a precious coach gun at his side, so he's
What's
going to have to
more
play it
important than Kieki is that Sanic survives here. Retreating along the right side of the map, heading back to the other red chest.
Mm-hmm. It looks like once again they're going to try and vie for one of the chests so they can get some power weapons. However, Fanny Bullen pushing hard, not allowing that to happen. However, Fanny Bullen is killed, but he does manage to do a bit of damage.
Kieki hitting 2 coach gun shots, but deciding to shoot.
Gunter is the last survivor left, so that could have either paid off for him, or that could have
The 2 survivors are against each other right now in the center house. Gunter actually retreating. One of his guns is empty, and he doesn't seem to realize this could be very bad for Gunter. But Kieki finds the flank.
Oh, where did... Oh, Kieki was inside
actually
the building.
came from underneath and went behind Sanix to get the pick.
I had to say, the real star here is Kieki. Kind of ironic. He didn't feel very confident in himself before the match, but I bet now he's probably in the swing of things. Right.
Kieki trying a lot of different things. We saw Kieki, before Fanny was taking out the barrels, Kieki was setting them up. We saw Kieki try to play medic in the first 2 rounds. Kieki really just trying to poke holes in the enemy, see what's most effective.
He's also really good at staying alive. Like, yeah, he's got some nice killing ability, but his real strength...
Well, of course he's got nice killing ability. He's using right-handed Remington.
Well, not to mention the fact that he's very good at evading his enemy. Even when he's the last survivor.
Fanny Bullen rocking Sawed Off and using it to some pretty effective means.
Same thing with Klaxi. The two of them would be really interesting if they played together. But playing apart, they also have some nice shotgun fights. Looks like
Sanic and Cliff Jumper, both rocking Remington now.
Oh, one of the players is Kieki is rocking the Peacemaker.
Really, the only wild dog in this match would be Gunter rocking the Mare's Leg.
Real
the
Cliff
only
Jumper
one doing
just bought the Sharps.
Real Cliff Jumper. Oh, real Cliff Jumper with a Sharps rifle, hanging out by the main train station, guarding the golden chest.
Right now, it looks like all of the Team ANDALEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEE
and now
RC squad
Cliff
has
Jumper is exposed, but has a good line of sight.
Real Cliff Jumper with that sharps, he could potentially get some huge
Cliff
picks.
Jumper, potentially, he's playing a little aggressive with this angle.
Yeah, is it gonna pay off for him? Let's see.
Hopefully his team pushes around to force the enemy into Cliff Jumper's path. Kieki and Co. actually avoiding that angle, getting the barrel ready. Now
Yep,
pay
they know
attention
he's
to
there.
Fanny here, actually trying to set up this explosive trap.
He also has a flank too, which allows him to basically just
Cliff
go
Jumper
around.
being forced to move back, sitting dangerously close to that explosive barrel.
It looks like all the members of Team Andale are going out the same way. However, all of the others
Looks
see
like a
him.
pump shotgun is also
We
coming
got
to
a
play
pump,
from
we got a
Claxy.
sharps, but we also got a peacemaker on Kieki's side.
Claxy holding close on that under angle. I don't think he knows that that's simply just a difficult place to get. You actually need to parkour to exit from there. Seems like Fanny Bullen rocking the box again. Claxy seemed to see somebody pass by but misses the shot. And here's where you see RC squad is all surrounding them, but they're spread thin.
RC squad has control of not only the gold chest, but also entrances of the tunnels of terror. However, Team Andale is managing to take advantage of the safety of that place.
And now Sanix potentially going for the golden
charging
chest.
in. However, let's see if Fanny Bullen can do some damage.
that box coming out.
A box
Knocked the weapon right out of Cliff's hand. Fanny Bullen goes down,
on
but
Fanny
he's free
Bullen's
to
part.
play
Managed
as
to do a
aggressive
decent
as
bit
he
of
wants.
damage and time wasting, but
The Sharps rifle misses. The cliff jumper throwing it off the cliff. You don't spend all that money on a Sharps rifle and then just toss it off.
oh.
And they
looks
won
like,
that round after getting the pick
Uh-huh.
and timing the other team out.
It's the first victory for it's the first victory for RC Squad, and they did it
And
by
that's the
timing out
first
their
time
enemy.
we did not see
That is the
in
first
at
time.
least.
That is the first time we've seen a timeout in this entire tournament.
Kieki and Gunter taking out Sanix. Hearing that explosion go off,
Great.
the other vigilantes
Quick
are
first
pushing
kill.
that side of the map.
Yep, it seems like all of them are controlling their respective chests. Sanix managing to finish off Gunter and repayment for last time.
In the center area, we see the gold chest might be put into play again.
Sanix constantly getting shut down by other players.
Yeah, Claxy and Cliff sitting right by the gold chest.
Sanix
Cliff
is
did
about.
not see Gunter behind him.
Sanix just bought a new weapon, I believe, from the red chest. I wonder which one it is. Oh, real cliff jumper. Killed by Kieki and
Fanny
Bullen.
Bullen finds the shotgun headshot.
This is match point for Team ANDALEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEE
playing to the weaknesses of the enemy team. They see Sharp's rifle, coach gun, shotguns, so many of those more slow-firing or single-shot weapons being put into play. I'm fairly certain we saw a Spencer being pulled out by RC Squad as
we did.
well. And because of that, Fanny Bowen has taken out barrels and boxes galore. And Gunter blows up the barrel that Fanny had set up beforehand.
Anyone that oh, shotgun fight in the tunnels of terror. Claxy versus Claxy versus Fanny Boolin. Alright, looks like both players
Kieki also rocking a shotgun now.
Kieki? Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, he is.
Originally, I believe, rocking a Remington.
Yeah, he was
Since
normally using the
switched
Remington
to a close range,
effect.
which means that yes, they have more power at close range. but
RC
without
Squad
the
is
Remington,
RC Squad is at the red chest right now. So far, nobody's really threatening them.
Gunter with 2 mare's legs, pushing that golden chest, taking the damage for Kieki. And the gold chest is coming in play. Kieki
now
taking
has a
something
pump.
real nice out.
However, he is the last survivor, so he does have a good reason to get that.
A pump shotgun is a dangerous thing, but remember, it has a slower time to kill than the sawed-off, meaning it's more to guard himself from groups.
However,
and
one
he
of the
gets
players
hit
is a
with the
Spencer.
Spencer. Oh, and Kieki goes down! Sanix finding that...
Sanix manages to get the flank on him.
not Navy. Whew. Yeah, he gets that Remington
RC
pick.
Squad
2 shots for the body shot.
clinging to life.
And here's where you see it. Kieki has since, after that shotgun fiasco, has switched back to the Remington Army. Realizing that the range is very important on the Remington Army.
However, it looks like that Sanix is by himself. Does he dare push up the chest, or is he going to get attacked by more members of Team ANDALE?
Oh, Kieki gets Claxy.
Oh, and now
Sanix is the last
one left. The entire game rests on his shoulders, and he's only at 42 health.
Between a rock and a hard place.
Yup.
If you're Sanix, how do you play this? You have to wait for your teammates to come get you. There's no whiskey spawns near you.
I myself would run into the tunnels of terror, honestly, and try and lose the enemy. But the enemy is in the tunnels of terror. However, it looks like
and it looks like Kieki also needs to run 20 health and also bleeding out.
Yeah, this game
but he
might
gets the whiskey stashed by the tunnel.
In favor of RC Squad. However, Kieki does manage to get into the gold chest. This might be a game changer, folks.
This is a pumpy, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Kieki favoring that pumpy once again.
Oh yeah, definitely. He loves that weapon. Nice.
And Gunter potentially able to get the pick here. No, Claxy stops him.
Sanix is right near the red chest. If he could buy something, then that would help his chances of survivability
Fanny
more.
Bullen with that barrel trying to set up a
manages
trap.
to buy something. What is it going to be?
Ooh, but Claxy stops it. Oh, this is bad. This is bad for Kieki.
Kieki manages to finish off Claxy and gets a bit more help. Real Cliff Jumper manages to go in and headshot him with a Remington. Real Cliff Jumper
headshot with a Remington.
Real Cliff Jumper last match was so good with the Remington. And we're starting to see a bit of that here too, although not as much as last time.
If you are Team Andale, you need to go back to your basics. You need to understand that once you get those starting round picks, because they keep getting those starting round picks, they need to play a little defensive. They can wait for the other team. If they play more on the defensive rather than on the aggressive,
looks
once
like
they get a pick.
All the players are forming a death ball right now. They're all near the gold chest with minimal resistance as Sanix is taken out.
Claxy in the underneath of the map, thinking he's gonna rush, but no, decides to instead go underneath.
Real Cliff Jumper going to the red chest. He's probably gonna find a way to try and pick off enemies. Sanix is also trying to as well, but Fanny Bullen with the prop and Gunter on the roof.
And I believe this is gonna be a Spencer perhaps pulled out by Cliff.
Yeah, because right now Team Andale has firmly put their foot in the ground on mid. And there's going to be something that's going to have to be done to pry them out of RC squad.
Are we going to see a double? Are we going to see a double? We see a Spencer pulled out by Cliff.
Yep. And I also hear a pump shotgun as Kieki manages to take out Sanix, who is also trying to frag. Since he's no longer a survivor, that means he can just aggressively go out to try and whittle down the enemy health.
Fannin, and Gunter now need to play a little more on the reserve side. Ooh, and Fanny finds Sanix a third time. Sanix being the only person who's playing remotely aggressive.
Yeah, that's mostly due to him being the only non-survivor. Oh, Fanny Bullen. Is he gonna get the hit on the barrel?
Sanix missing these.
Oh,
ooh.
Fanny Bullen and Kieki managing to pump him full of shells.
Ooh, real Cliff Jumper and an optimal time to potentially flank them as they get into the house.
With the coach gun going up the tunnels of terror.
Ooh, and Fanny Bullen takes him out with the sawed-off.
Gunter is watching vigilantly over the roofs with his sharps too.
If you have a coach gun and you get kicked, you need to panic fire.
Is he gonna get the pick?
And look at Gunter with a Sharps rifle in prime position.
Sanix gets sniped by Gunter!
Gunter so good with those headshots. We know he's got the accuracy to make this happen.
Oh, Kieki's gonna make a flank right now. Gunter kills Sanix.
Oh, and Sanix again down. They could just potentially time him out. Or
GG.
Fanny
Bullen manages to flank Real Cliff Jumper and kill him for a final round. GG, 6-3 to Team Andale. Both teams played super well.
Oh, and we have a lot to talk about.
Oh, we definitely do. This is an interesting match here, folks.
Oh, oh. First, as it's fresh, let's talk about that ending.
Yep.
Best part about that, I feel, Gunter pulling out the Sharps rifle and making the other team run away in fear. The only way that RC Squad was going to be able to take anyone is if they played aggressive. And since they had fewer survivors, that was out of question except for Sanix. Gunter shutting down Sanix at every turn and basically eliminating all prospects of an offense coming from RC Squad.
And Kieki,
in fact, if Fanny didn't get that final kill, if Fanny did not get that final kill, that was going to be a timeout anyways. Team Andale was going to win.
RC Squad was trying to use the tunnels of terror, but it didn't end up working for them well in the end because they always managed to get caught out. Yeah,
definitely. And I think that's also Fanny's doing. He kept catching off I believe, real Cliff Jumper in the Tunnels of Terror. We saw that one engagement where Cliff had a coach gun and lost to a sawed-off because he managed to get flanked and booted.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But
think about
anyways,
Fanny Bullen. He was a super player during the whole thing. The Tunnels of Terror were his home. And he played differently to some of the other players who really like the Tunnels of Terror. Instead of, using them to escape people, he used them to hunt people down.
so
And,
a lot of interesting things pulled out during this match. Shotguns to start. Two
Yep.
sawed-offs.
Definitely.
Lots of
Spencer's.
crate pies. Starting
Yep.
from the beginning, we had someone buy portable whiskey. We had
Exactly.
people pulling out Spencer's, coach guns. We saw Sharps and Pumpy come out of the gold chest. Thank God no one pulled out a Walker, by the way.
That was the first time I ever saw a Sharps and a Pump being pulled out of the gold chest in the Fragonationals.
In the same Fragonationals game, absolutely.
No, that was the first time I even saw a Sharps at all. And it was
Now, this
used
is
to
about
such great effect
dynamics.
by
Because, honestly, RC Squad has some pretty good aim. But the reason why they beat Riders of the Storm and why they've done pretty well up until now is their strategy.
Yeah.
They've always had a good strategy. Claxy being a master strategist himself, setting up for opponent pushes with barrels and kicks.
But I think their problem was you can't strategize against a completely unpredictable opponent. There was nothing you could have predicted about Team Andale. And that's because the best thing Team Andale had going for them is they thought they were gonna lose. They thought they were gonna lose by a landslide. I kept hearing the players, they're like, oh well, I guess this is gonna suck. We don't have anything to lose though. And since they had nothing to lose, they basically were just able to just play any way they wanted, and they were able to just basically fight and you get what I mean, right?
Oh, definitely an unorthodox style of fighting.
Yep.
They didn't decide to play Remingtons and Navies the whole game.
Yeah.
And just play like a bunch
and
of...
mirrors as usually. One of them did have a Navy, but Navy, as good of a gun as it is not meta. So
near the end, I mean, we saw Kieki switch back to the Remington, but for a few rounds there, they were just running Mare's Leg and two sawed-offs.
Yep.
That's not like an orthodox playstyle. They are
definitely
very, very unorthodox. And I think the hardest part is that other teams are going to have to study that if they want to beat them.
And what else is unorthodox is they really love chests. We have seen a few other teams use weapons in chests, but not to the extent that Team Andale has. And I think that tipped the scales in their favor. Because if you notice, at first, RC Squad was just rolling the same way they usually do, with their Mare's Legs and the occasional Remingtons. But as soon as they started getting shut down by coach guns and peacemakers and whiskey, then they're like, okay, we're going to have to also try and match their might with ours. However, the problem was that their strat usually doesn't work that way. They usually roll just so well with their starter weapons, whereas Team Andale become even stronger when they get their chest weapons. It's basically just a power boost for them, but for RC Squad, they have to adjust to that, and they weren't able to do that fully.
Let's talk about the next part of this, which I thought was very interesting, which was the timeout. In, I believe, round 5 or so,
Yeah.
there was the timeout victory by RC Squad. The main reason I feel that RC Squad lost overall is because they couldn't decide whether it was a better idea to play aggressive or passive. And they played in this realm of basically passive-aggressive, and it didn't work out for them except when they managed to get that first pick and then turtle the rest of the round.
Because they tried to always try and get peaks at Team Andale whenever they were doing anything, but they always just took the other way around and didn't let them get any picks on them. So it was really hard for them to just get kills when they were not fully committing to getting them. You know? And yeah, man, they managed to... That was an interesting strategy on their part. That's one of the times where the RC squad of their last game shined through. Basically, them managing to outsmart Team ANDALEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEE
All right, let's talk about the players now. Starting with the losers team, we got Claxy, we got Sanix, and we got oh, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of the player. I was
Real
gushing
Cliff
about
Jumper.
them in
It's
the
alright,
end.
it's alright. Sometimes I do that too.
Jumper. I think what did you like about that, and who do you think deserves the MVP for that team?
I feel like all of them played super differently. Real Cliff Jumper, he's a pretty good player too. He's pretty nice with the Remington, really accurate, but I noticed that he was able to adapt the most to Team ANDALEEEEEEEEEEEE's strategy of, using chest weapons. And he always managed to get some really nice weapons, and he was able to get a few decent picks. However, a lot of the map's fighting happened in really close quarters, and he specializes in long range, so he suffered a little. There's Claxy. Claxy was a beast in this match. He was probably the best performing player.
No, that's the thing. I was going to say the opposite, because last game that we had RC Squad in, we gave the MVP to Claxy because he was just so imperative to win in those rounds. But I feel like overall, especially when it came to traps and reading the other team, which is like the forte, he got completely outplayed there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Player, absolutely. But I would actually say that, for what they have been known to do, it's been almost reversed, like the tables were turned. I agree with your original assertion, because I think Cliff Jumper was really playing good, and he was adapting the best in terms of an MVP.
Yeah, fair enough. But I just noticed Claxy, I didn't feel like he was doing any worse or anything. I think he was just same old Claxy, managing to get some nice frags all the time, pretty much. He was almost always able to shut down Fanny Boolin whenever they were in a 1v1 shotgun fight. I always noticed that. Don't forget about Senix. He played a very aggressive play style. I noticed that. He often, he'd die and lose his survivor status, and that was where he best served, always managing to chip away at Team ANDALEEEEEEE's health all the time. Never giving them a break.
We're talking about Senix?
Senix, yes. Overall, there isn't too much else to write about for Senix, but I feel like that he did well in his role, but he could have gotten a few more frags. As for the...
Now this I feel... Yeah, I feel I agree with you. I think Senix did a decent job, especially when they were the last survivor. They did a pretty good job there. Yeah. Unfortunately, just didn't find themselves in the situation where they were the survivor.
Yep. It's oftentimes he was the first to die.
Now let's talk about Group B's new baby team, Team ANDALEEEEEEEEEE. How impressive and dynamic was that to watch?
That was just as much of an upset as RC Squad last time. And alright, let's start with their leader, Fanny Boolin. That man was using a shotgun and rolling with it, just crushing with it. Usually, the thing he's really good at pubs, but, I didn't know how well it would translate to a tournament, but it turns out his pub play style managed to mesh perfectly. And not only that, but he seemed like a real...
Sorry to cut you off. Sorry. A lot of the reason why Fanny was so effective is because the other team didn't know what to expect. But I think once the first 3 or 4 barrel traps went off, the other team started to take note. But even without that, not afraid to pull out the pumpy, do some work. Fanny was an impressive player.
Normally it was Kieki that picked up the pumpy, but at the same time, Fanny managed to do it occasionally too. But the thing is, he didn't even need the pumpy. He was able to just wreck house with the sawed-off. No questions asked.
Since you brought them up, Kieki, I think the main thing that Kieki brought to the table wasn't anything in particular like accuracy. I think the accuracy and aim all came from Gunter, and we'll get to him later.
Definitely.
But I think Kieki was the main source of unpredictability. Because you can sort of read what Fanny's going to do. They're very good at it, but they did generally the same 4 or 5 things.
Yeah.
Kieki
did everything.
Kept switching weapons. Kept switching distances and getting good angles on the other team.
Yep.
Very effective, and managed to through RC Squad for
definitely
a loop.
And not to mention, he was almost always the last survivor and almost always made it work. He basically tried, like, he claws tooth and nail to escape from the enemy every time, allowing his teammates to swoop in, protect him, and get some kills too. Every time. Although, well, not every time. There were times where the enemy did manage to brute force their way in and kill him, but those moments were rare. You know?
And now let's wrap this up with the final player we haven't talked about yet, Gunter. Now, in my personal opinion, you're probably going to disagree. I feel like Gunter deserved the MVP because he didn't get any of the winning round kills, but he did so much early game work that put Team Andale in the lead every time. Mare's leg headshots, as much as I can talk about right-handed not exactly being fun to fight against, Mare's leg headshots, he's got a lot of them. Missed a few, but hit most of them. And at mid-range, these aren't point-blank Mare's leg headshots. And we saw the accuracy more when he decided to pull out a Sharps rifle. I think it was Senix who did it for RC Squad when they were doing their gold chest run. They took out a Sharps rifle, shot one shot, missed it at Gunter, and then threw it off the cliff. Gunter did some crazy parkour tricks to get up to the roof of the main house.
And then constantly sniped Senix away when he was trying to get some picks. I do disagree with you, though, about Gunter.
I knew you were gonna, because there are...
As well as he played...
You could make a case for any of them being MVP.
As well as he played, I feel like Kieki was the MVP, in my opinion. Because I feel like he was basically the reason why the team was able to stay afloat so much. Because he rarely died, switched up his playstyle a lot, and managed to always surprise the enemy. From, sniping people with the Remington, going in with the sawed-off, or just playing very defensive with the coach... not the coach gun. With the pump shotgun and the coach gun, too, actually. I think I saw him do that. As well as playing medic with the whiskey. He basically excelled at everything he did. And I think that he deserves the spot, in my opinion. So yeah, it's both Kieki and Real Cliff Jumper. Those are the 2 MVPs for me.
Now, RC Squad in a little bit of a bind here now because their record is not nearly as lustrous as it was beforehand. Yeah. But Team Andale, what advice do you have for future teams who are gonna have to go up against this team?
For teams that go up against Team Andale, expect the unexpected. Expect anything, really. These players are, this is not meant as an insult, by the way. These players are essentially just pub players who transferred over to tournaments. And that allows them to get away with a lot more things than a competitive team would do. Such as, all the crazy stuff that they did in those games. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to stand your ground, and you're going to have to see what happens. And also, you're going to have to fully commit to something, whether it be an offensive play style, where you just rush all the players and manage to just kill them, or you play very defensive and just stand your ground, put your foot firmly on the floor, and then don't budge, and let them throw whatever they have at you.
For me, I would say... the best advice I could give to a team going against Team Andale is don't panic.
Yes.
This team is good, and by all means, they are by far the most unorthodox team that you can possibly go against. And so predicting them is not going to be your goal. Your goal is to counter whatever they're going to do.
Exactly.
But overall, this is not. You are not going up against Chich and Shoot Arrow, you are going up against Team Andale. Play like you're going up against Team Andale.
Yes.
Don't try to. Once again, don't try to outplay them. Try to outthink them.
Yeah, these guys aren't
They
like...
still are trying to win. You can bait them. You can, but as soon as we saw certain things, as soon as the Sharps rifle came into play in that final round, the other team, RC Squad, they didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to make a two-man push because, oh no, what if one of our other players gets picked?
Yeah.
Well, they're already. You see them. They're not moving. They're not trying. They're not trying to beat you. They're trying to time you out. You need to mount an offense. Just don't panic when you play against Team Andale.
Exactly. And yeah, keep in mind, this isn't like some like EU or Russian super team that you're fighting against, where you can like, okay, yeah, they're most likely gonna pretty well mess you up, but at the same time, you know how they're gonna play. You know, bunny hopping with the volcanic and the mare's leg, right-handed. You know, sniping with the Remington. But these guys will sucker punch you all the time, and even then, like when RC Squad tried to push up at that last moment, Fanny Boolin just managed to sweep in and just kill the final guy without even like so much as like any, just completely unceremoniously.
You know what? Like looking back on it, the amount of times that Andale played with barrels, and this is more like a tidbit rather than advice.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to go into a blue chest and buy some dynamite, guys. Yep. Like, in all honesty, I want to see someone buy some dynamite and use it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's cheap. It's effective. I'm not asking you to buy the dynamite belt and risk the gold chest or black dynamite from the red. Just get normal dynamite.
Although, as Zorro, I've been able to use the belt a lot of times before, but that's another thing. I think
any closing thoughts?
I have a bit. I before I give my final thoughts, I wanted to wrap up how I what advice I'd give to other teams. When it comes to other teams that are going to be fighting against RC Squad, this video should give you hope that they can be beaten. Same thing with Suco de Laranja. Both teams managed to play really well. I know RC Squad hasn't won as many consecutive games as Suco de Laranja, but I have a feeling they're going to win a decent amount in the future. But they can be beaten. And maybe you can't outsmart them, but you can outplay them. So you start with your final thoughts, and I'll start with mine.
I think overall, this is a welcome change to Fistful of Frags.
Yes.
In terms of the competitive scene, I am so glad that people. Hopefully other people will remove their stigmas about buying things from the chest.
Definitely.
You're playing team elimination.
Yeah.
Play like you want to fucking win.
Yeah.
And that's really all I gotta say. Because Team Andale,
the problem
like you said, I wouldn't say they were like scared going into this match, but they were pretty aloof about it. They were like,
I guess we're gonna lose.
It's a fun match. If we lose, it's a fun match. If we win, good for us.
Well, yes, the thing.
But, like,
a lot of players
played hard. They played.
Yeah, a lot of
win.
Yeah, a lot of players do play to win, but that's the reason why they stick so closely to this meta. And I feel like that a lot of this meta has been causing the competitive Fistful of Frags to kind of stagnate a little. But there's a lot of these new teams out there who are just throwing wrenches into everything and just like managing to switch everything up. And it's really fun to watch. And I feel like this tournament's going to be a revival of competitive Fistful of Frags just because of this, honestly.
And meta in most cases, even at the top of the top, it's a suggestion. It doesn't mean too much. I've seen people dominate like team play servers with a bow and arrow.
Yep.
Like, you can make that, if you're good, you can make that the best weapon in the game.
I mean, look at Mr. Jag or like any of the really great Zorros. I mean, those people don't follow a meta at all, and yet they're able to like kick ass.
Look at Shoot Arrow, look at Dimes, look at Chich.
Yeah.
Rommel,
look at Tofu. Rommel, hell yeah. Look at Peen.
Be afraid to, those are my pieces of advice. Those are my pieces of advice. Don't be afraid to branch out. Don't say my name like I'm with those guys. I main brass knuckles for a living. All right.
All right. Here's my advice.
Or final words,
If
but yeah.
you go into these matches expecting like a guaranteed loss, don't feel that way. Even if you lose at some point, you at least put your back into all the fighting. At least, give your enemy a good show and don't like roll over for them. Like, I'm not saying Team Andale does that, but I did get a certain feeling among the players of, oh well, I guess we're gonna lose. No, I mean, look at them. They didn't lose. They won hard. And while RC Squad did give them a fight, a pretty good fight, at the same time, these players who had nothing to lose managed to pull off a great victory. You can too. Don't have some faith in yourself. Don't count yourself out at the very beginning. And that's pretty much my piece. Anyways, I guess this is time to head off. I'm Jack Clock.
I'm young Peen.
Alright, and this has been the Fragonationals. We'll see you later, folks. Adios.
Sign it off.
We're good. All right. First question: what was your strategy? Well, I guess I'll start. My strategy, I honestly did not have a strategy. I was listening over to the stream, and I noticed you said that I was the most unpredictable of the bunch, and I can sort of agree with that. I was getting those good Remington shots every now and again. I even got to saw it off at some point. But I really went in with no strategy. I think that helped me in the long run because I was so unpredictable. Nobody knew what to expect from me.
I think my strategy was just stick to the basics of what you feel comfortable with. Usually when I play shootouts, I just stick to Mare's Leg because I usually just go for headshots and stuff. So I figured, I've never done a tournament before, so might as well just stick to what you know is comfortable. Initially, we were talking about RC Squad likes to use Mare's Legs, so we tried to veto maps that were close distance, and we ended up playing on a good map it was like medium range, and then we decided we should probably go for box weapons, but other than that, like once we started playing, we didn't really talk about any strategy. We were just kind of doing what felt.
Well, yeah, I'm Fanny Boolin, and my strategy was I actually did have a strategy, and it was mainly using barrels the most effectively. That's mostly how I play in like casual public matches, and I was just testing the waters to see if that play style would translate over to a tournament setting, and I say it worked out pretty well. But usually I'd use a Colt Navy, but I switched to the sawed off for this game because I wanted to test out a new sort of like um, shooting the barrel in the air to explode it sort of deal. And I have I have my way to get the barrel low enough health to for that to be possible, but sometimes it just wouldn't work because fistful is weird. So yeah, that's about it.
Alright, question 2. How did you feel about RC Squad before and after the game?
Before I genuinely thought I was going to lose because it's good to go into a game with a good mindset, but in the beginning, I like to think too much about stuff. So I'm like, they got Mare's Legs, they're going to rush us, and we're going to get headshot, and we're all going to die, blah, blah, blah. But then we got into the game, and it worked. We obviously won 6-3, so we're still in a good shape. After the game, I'd personally say they do have skill. They definitely have skill at the game. They know what they're doing. But I think some of their strategies, sometimes they didn't know what to do. Like when good old Gunter here went up on the roof with the Sharps, he really didn't know how to combat that. I think that's one of their biggest weaknesses is that they don't know how to counter the stuff that we do. that granted, we're also really unpredictable, so it can be a challenge at times. But I still think they're a pretty good team. Not a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
To be honest, I'm kind of new to the tournament scene, so I didn't really know a whole lot about all the teams, so I didn't really know anything beforehand. But playing them, some of them have very, very good aim, and like normally things you can do in a shootout, it doesn't fly, because they'll just shoot, they'll just get you. But yeah, I have a lot of respect for those people. It was a really good game, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I'm a lot like Gunter. I don't really know like anyone on the RC squad. I mean, I talked to Real Cliff Jumper in the chat to schedule the match, and he was very nice and very kind and easy to work with.
That's good.
So I did have a lot of respect for him. He's a very very nice fellow. And so, but yeah, before the game, I didn't know anything. So I was going in like, oh, these are just some fellow people who like the game I play. So, and when we beat them, I even got more respect for them and how they play, because they really are good players, and it's cool to see other players to challenge other players on your level. I think.
What strengths and weaknesses do you think your team had?
Well, of course, for me, I said before, my biggest strength is being completely unpredictable. You don't know when I'm going to go behind you with the sawed off, or maybe I'll pull out a Colt Navy or whatever I might do. I think that's my weakness. But as a whole, I think this team's biggest strength is that we all mesh together. Our play styles are very. Think of like a jigsaw puzzle. We all just fit together pretty well. As for me, I usually do the revolvers, Fanny with the sawed off that time, and Gunther, he was kind of mid range with the revolver. Yeah, Mare's like short range, medium range, and that kind of thing. So I think our weapon choice and our play style in general, they all mesh together pretty well. I think that was our biggest strength, because of course, when you have a whole team fighting against you, it's kind of like when you're in a firefight and the whole team's right there. It's kind of a challenge when all three of the people on your team don't work together and they're all just shooting at whoever they want to shoot at. We had good teamwork. As for our weaknesses, I mean, I don't want to sound like I have a big ego or anything, but I didn't really see any major weaknesses or any major flaws, save for maybe my accuracy. Sometimes I missed a few shots every now and again. But, I mean, other than that, I'm not really sure on the weakness part. I'm sure my other teammates will figure something out.
Building off what Kieki said, I really felt like after the first couple rounds that just like we worked very, very well together, and we didn't have to practice or train anything. It just felt really, really natural. Like there were several times where right off the bat, like at the beginning of the round, Kieki and I would just corner somebody and we'll teamwork and kill them, and that was just like really. We didn't have to calm that very much. It was just natural, like we went and did it. So our teamwork was surprisingly very, very good for not ever doing a tournament together before. I think before this match, I would say our biggest weakness was not ever getting any experience with playing matches. But after playing this match, I'm not sure how much of a problem that's going to be, because we just worked so well together. So we work really well together. We're unpredictable. We try some crazy stuff, and it's a fun time.
Strength and weaknesses, our teammate. Yeah, well, I mean, everyone else pretty much already said it, but I think if we got like brushed harder, I feel like if we got caught off guard before we can get together, because I feel like every round we got together very quickly. If the enemy team was able to disrupt that faster, I think we'd have a much worse time. But it looks like both teams wanted to get with each other as fast as possible, so it was sort of just all team at that point.
How do you feel about your future prospects for the tournament?
Well, as for me, I did that. I played that game mode once before, but I didn't really have much expectations on terms of strategy. Now that I've played an actual game in the tournament and I know what's going to happen next, I think I'll have a much better time in this tournament. Maybe I'll have a pretty good chance at other teams, I should think. Of course, not every team is RC squad, but of course, it gives me the experience that I would need as Fistful of Frags player too. be able to fight other teams
Exactly.
besides RC Squad and do fairly well.
I think I had a lot of fun, so I think we're just gonna keep having fun matches, and that's all I see. Is just
Yeah.
just gonna play more matches, have a bunch of fun, and see how far we can go.
Yeah, it seems like it might be a downhill battle. I mean, for at least the short time upcoming, eventually we're gonna have to play like the even better teams in like the finals and stuff. But until then, this might be looking pretty good so far.
Speaking of fighting better teams, this is my final question. What teams do you feel like could challenge you?
Chich's team, obviously.
Yep, I was gonna say the same thing. Cheech is like the only player that I really know that, or like the only player like that I know is just really good. Like I've seen him, and I've sort of like almost grown like to be a fan of how he plays. Like I mean I don't use his play style, but I just really respect and like how he's able to get such high frags, high points. So I think that's definitely going to be our greatest obstacle is Cheech.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Cheech. He has a very unorthodox playstyle with the handgun throw, and the Marislag does a lot of damage too. So there's not really a counter to that. Like you'll kick him, and then he'll chuck his handgun at you in there,
yeah.
and it's perfectly accurate. So yeah, he's going to be a little hard to deal with, but it's going to be a fun match because it'll be a challenge.
Yeah, it'll be a great match
Definitely.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Super
Whether
teams,
we get
I think,
stomped or not.
yes, and I think there's like a couple other super teams, but Chich is the only one where I probably don't think I'm going to manage against him because I've played against him before. My most memorable moment is when I played Fistful of Frags with a couple of friends that I know in real life, and Chich joined the game. And they just absolutely wrecked him. And they were all getting really mad at him. I thought that was really funny. But of course, I do look up to him because he's probably one of the best players like in the world in general. Fistful of Frags, I would say.
Mm-hmm.